Okay, hello Goobers! Welcome on brand new series of streams where I will embarrass myself. Maybe let's move me a little bit there. Embarrass myself by showing off my old doodles because I cannot even call it art. Hi Benyo, hi Rivaldo, if you're still there, thank you for dropping down, dropping by, even if just to write a message that you can be here. It's actually awfully sweet that some of you are like, you feel like you have to explain yourself why you cannot be there. It's very nice, it's very cute and sweet, thank you, but it's okay, it's okay if you cannot be here. I hope you got some tea. Today I can even show you my tea. As you can see, it's like the inside is blue, so you cannot maybe see it properly, but it's green tea. It's very warm, so I have to hold it in my hands. For some reason, my hands are cold today. Oh god, is that a sketchbook from Tiger? Yes, it is! Look at that! Ew! And in the back? No. You can't see anything in the back. Okay, never mind that. But yeah, it is a sketch. Starting strong. I know. Oh, you don't even know. You don't even know. Spoiler, the second one will be even worse. I mean, the third one. Because today I have two by my side. I have like this black one, which is, I have no freaking idea from where. And I don't think I will ever learn because I don't see anything on it. It's just like pure black. Why did I think it's a good idea? I generally do not believe it's a good idea what I'm doing right now because because there is a lot of very cringe-worthy stories, and I believe that because I don't think any of you ever been in OC communities. It's one of a kind environment that would I recommend it to you? Not so much. Don't get me wrong, it has good sides, but holy crap, I feel like with every doodle there will be like a story behind it. OC cult, kind of, yeah. And honestly, I'm terrified to relive some of those memories. But, you know, it's for content. What wouldn't I do for content, right? Never had a proper OC, but heard a lot of shit about that. Exactly. Tell me if the music isn't too loud or if you can hear me clearly, by the way, because I'm never convinced that everything is alright and okay with my setup. But in general, what can I say? Wait, I need to play around with my mic a little bit. Okay, it should be fine. Good. Okay, perfect then. So, like, to give you an introduction to what's in there, a little bit of a background. Why even drawing on paper, especially when I'm going to tell you right now, I started drawing on paper, like doodling on paper, when I already had a drawing tablet. So you may think, isn't it weird, right? Isn't it weird if you already had a drawing tablet, why did you sketch on paper? It's because back when I started on Instagram, a lot of OC artists sketched on paper and actually scanned or just made photos of their doodles on paper and, you know, shared them this way. And that's what I was also doing. And because there have been a lot of amazingly, insanely skilled and talented artists out there, and their doodles on paper or even like full-on drawings looked so damn dope, I thought like I want to do that too. Also, back then I only had like a drawing tablet, Huion drawing tablet, and it was pretty heavy to bring it back to my family house, back with me every single weekend that I went to visit my family. So instead of taking the tablet with me, I just took a sketchpad. So there were like 2 reasons why I started doing that. Oh, okay. Another important thing is that in this sketchbook, we'll probably, you, together with me, probably see mostly cartoon OCs. Because if you did not know that about me, you will learn a lot about me today. If you did not know that about me, I started off drawing OCs for cartoons, not for anime. Much later on I started with anime, and once I ended up in anime, I barely did anything with cartoons anymore. Because at some point I was like, I hate anatomy. You know, drawing in cartoony style lets me bend and break some anatomy rules. Just that you just doodled while being on lessons, but it was just cool back then. That as well, but I feel like when I doodled in my notebooks. If I were to find my notebooks from college classes, you would see like drawings everywhere, doodles everywhere. But it's like, you know, this was like a special place to put everything from fandoms in there. During my classes, I usually doodled random stuff. Like, there were no OCs, so just randomly drew some characters. Because I had no chance to have references, because then it would be kind of weird if I, like, took out my phone and like, I'm sorry, I have to find a reference to draw it. Teachers hated you for that. Back in middle school, when I was in middle school, I started drawing quite a lot, and I drew a lot in my literature classes, I guess I can call it like that, or people not from Poland to understand what I'm talking about. Literature classes, that's how I think that's the most fitting way of calling those classes. I used to draw a lot, but my teacher liked me. Like, I wasn't the best. I mean, she was probably the one of not many teachers that saw my potential, and she's like, you're smart. When you when you take your time and think about something, you can actually figure something out on the go. But and she was the one who was like always like saying, oh, nice art. Like when she was checking homework, she skimmed through the entire notebook, and whenever she saw an art, she was like writing down small notes like nice art or something. So she was the only one who appreciated my art properly. Okay, without further ado, I guess let's get started. I'm pretty sure most of doodles there will be from Hazbin Hotel. So, you know, it's funny because just a year ago we got finally got, you know, an official first season. Those doodles were made even before the pilot came out. This is how old they are. Okay, let's get started. Oh my god, I'm already cringing. Okay, so can you see it properly? I think so. Wait, let me. Okay. Hi, Chichi. Oh my god, Chichi came in and immediately roasted me. Hazbin doodles. You'll see a lot of them today. Okay, so my friends. This is one of my Hazbin Hotel OCs that had very cringeworthy name. I think she was called Feral Eclipse or something like that. Dude, like you couldn't make it up even if you tried. Her name was Feral Eclipse. And I think what inspired me was like Aztec culture and aesthetics in general. And I also really wanted to have a OC that was kind of this cool wine aunt, you know? That was the concept of her. So in here, I will read it for you. I will be cringing while reading, but it's fine. I will read it for you. What she says is like, there's no such a thing as too much wine, fools. Because, you know, she's a wine aunt, so of course she loves alcohol, especially wine. So she was like three-eyed bird, kind of like demon. I remember much whether or not I wrote a lore for her. I'm pretty sure we'll later on see me trying to create an OC for her to be her ex, but it's goddamn awful design from what I remember. Her design really nice. I know, right? I was very proud of it, but so like from the other side, like you couldn't see her much because like kind of like side her, you know? So it's like, you know, if it was like a real life like human character, she would have like this side shaved and the other side was like bushy. And as you can see, she smokes a pipe as well because she's so cool. But you know, and she had like some kind of fire powers, apparently. Chicken arms as well. Pretty cool, pretty cool. The clothes were awful, ugly. I actually did draw her. Hi, Kiwi. Hello. You're back. It's nice to see you're back. I'm back as well. I mean, I've been back on Monday, but Nox is back. Oh, wait, why are you called Kiwi now? What's the story behind that? Hi, Mies. Hello. Hi, guys. Damn. You came in on my most cringeworthy stream ever. I can't. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. I'm finally feeling healthy after a long fight with my throat. Looks like a guy from Shangri-La. You know what? Yeah, that's his mother. Right now, it's not Hazbin Hotel OC anymore. It's Shangri-La Frontier OC. So what? I have not seen the anime other than like first 2 episodes. Perfect symmetry without symmetry tool. Yeah, I think I tried to see whether or not I had like, you know, something. I used something, but I don't think so. I remember those drawings were made into digital art later on. But it's like a lost media, or at least archived on my Instagram. And unfortunately, which is the stupidest thing ever on Instagram, when you're on websites through like your PC or laptop, not your mobile, you cannot see the archives, which is stupid because that would be yet another cringeworthy stream from me. So yeah, her name's Feral Eclipse. She was in Hazbin Hotel fandom. She didn't really have a story. I was mostly thinking about the design. I'm going to spoil it to you. I dropped her pretty early on because of the hair. The feathery hair. Because imagine drawing it every single freaking time. When I had to draw her, it was annoying as hell. So I was like, yeah, I'm dropping you. Oh, okay. The next page is even worse. I mean, even worse. This one is pretty decent, you know? Like, I like the art. The design of the clothes is not the best, but the OC, like, the design is not too bad. It's not too shabby. I can see a lot of potential in here. The second page is disgusting though. Already. Okay, as a weeb, of course, I wanted to have some Japanese OC as well, right? The problem is I couldn't grasp it correctly. In Hazbin Hotel style. Back then, I wasn't that good at Hazbin Hotel style. So I drew this one, but I was like, it doesn't look like Hazbin at all. And I tried something like this, but I was like, now it looks stupid. And here, I guess this was me checking out how to work it out. I really was set on this kind of like triangular shape, but nothing worked. This one was entirely different, but it looked too similar to my main Hazbin Hotel OC. I'm pretty sure it was like... This OC actually was like... the concept I had, but I never figured out until the end because I dropped him even faster than the bird lady, was that he used to have a twin brother, and like one was giving orders, the other one was executing. But I think the brother died, and then he have formed within himself like his like a second personality, second nature that mimicked the way his brother was. But I do not remember which one was the one that died. So yeah, this one is pretty it sucks ass. I remember I was drawing it on a train though. And what's on the next page, which I'll have to cover because there is my name written down there. And as much as like it's not the biggest mystery of the world, a lot of people know my name. Heck, most of the people who commission something from me know my name. But it's not something that I want to share like on videos. So like, hey yo, this is not my art. But if you know a cartoon called Miraculous Ladybug, you may kind of like recognize at least this little ladybug fairy kind of. Those are doodles created by the creators of Miraculous Ladybug. Here is from Winnie, and here is from Thomas Astrux, who is like the main creator and he's like the co-creator. So they went on one of the conventions and you could get an autograph from them. Of course I went there. I even have like Funko Pop figures signed by them. They were kind enough to not only sign the paper but also sign me you know, the figures. I think I gave them fan art, if I remember correctly. And I wanted to go on a panel where there was like Q&A with them, but everyone went there. Like, that was insane. That was pure insanity, the amount of people that went for this panel. So me and my sister, we couldn't join in. So we were sitting down and waiting for 2 hours for the panel to end. We were just like standing in line already to get those autographs. And we were like first in line, but we went in like third or fourth because before us there were people with kids and people like people with disabilities. And like obviously they have like the right to go first. At least I don't mind that. So yeah, and Winnie asked me who's my favorite character, and I told him it's Luca, and this was supposed to be Luca. I was like, that's the most scuffed look I've ever seen. That's the most scuffed look I've ever seen. I remember when we were living with my sister, we said to them, merci beaucoup. And they were immediately so happy, like, as if, I don't know, like, because, you know, French people are usually, like, very annoyed when you don't say it with a proper accent or anything. But I guess being in a foreign land, for someone to not talk to them in English or Polish, and instead, you know, thank them in their own language, I guess they really like that. I treasure this page. It's really cute, and you know, it's a good memory. I don't watch Miraculous Ladybug anymore. When I see content from it, like spoilers or something, I'm like, what the hell happened in this cartoon? Last time I've seen it, it wasn't that extreme, but a lot of things changed. A lot of things changed. I wasn't happy with many things that happened within this cartoon, but hey, the fandom is still alive. The cartoon is still ongoing. It's a huge success. People love it. Kids love it. So, good for them. And, you know, a nice memory to have. So, let's move forward back to... Oh! Look, here's the brother. Like, he wasn't called Blackjack in the end. I scrapped that name. That was supposed to be the brother, the executioner. But it still wasn't Has-Been Hotel style, so, yeah, I don't, what the fuck are those shapes? Like, please tell me, what is that? It's disgusting. So yeah, not the happiest with this one, definitely no. A big no-no, that is a big, huge no-no. So let's just move on. I already talked about this one, previously, I guess. Looks good? Nah, I mean, it's not the worst, but it's like the ears aren't even, where are they even coming from? The ponytail looks shitty. It's just, I don't know. I tried to do something here, but I don't think I was, like, I knew exactly what I was doing there. Trust me, there will be better characters later on. Oh, the next page will have like one of my favorites that still to a certain extent appears here and there. There we go, this little shit. His name originally was supposed to be Hurukoi. I think it was from like something about moths in different language. I don't remember which language. I think, I don't know, maybe Norway or something like that. I don't know. I scrapped it. Later on, he was called Aloysius, and that was before I learned that, in Hazbin Hotel universe, kids don't go to hell, apparently. So I had to recreate his character later on. But, you know, I had fun while it lasted. So he's very... Why is he adorable? Because he was supposed to be adorable. He is self-proclaimed king of hell. Obviously, he's not. He judges you silently, but he feels so royal. And he loves fire, because anytime I created a moth OC, I gave them the trope of, oh, they love fire, because, you know, like a moth to a flame. And he was basically like, he was a pyromaniac, so the way how he ended up in hell was that he burned his entire house down, together with himself, basically. Because he wanted it to see how well will it lit up on fire, basically. Yeah, pyromanic, basically. Yeah, and he thinks he's powerful. He's like one of the weakest demons in hell. Actually, you know what? I doodled him when... I mean, doodled him, not him exactly. I doodled his redesign when Hazbin came out. Wait, I'll find that. I have it on my PC here, for sure, in doodles. Yeah. Okay, so the redesign. Oh shit, it's huge as all of my art is. This is his redesign. And yeah, because I had to make him older, obviously, due to the reason of it not being canon. So yeah, that's the same character. That's the same character, that's him. That's him. Yeah, now you see the progress. Look, the shapes are nice. The face looks cool as hell. And yeah, he's old enough now. He's like young adult. He's like young adult now. Yeah, now he's much cooler. But the fun fact is that he was also kind of like base for my OC from Chainsaw Man, Kubo or Inkubo. Because like he's also a little shit. I mean, he's not little, but he's a shit. He's a piece of shit. So yeah, maybe I'll draw him more when second season of Hazbin Hotel comes out, because I really like drawing him. I really like drawing him. It's fun. Aloysius was always like my favorite. That's why I think like he's one of the rare characters OCs from my cartoon times where when I think of him, I think fondly of him. Mostly because the only interactions I really had with this character was with another artist who was freaking goated, and I think this girl was like only 12 years old back then, which is insane to think about that. But like, dude, some of the kids, like, obviously 12 years old, you shouldn't even watch Hazbin Hotel. But it's like, dude, so many fantastic artists were like 12, 13, 14 in this fandom. Like, I don't know how to explain that. Maybe later on I will talk more about that. Let me delete that. Let me delete Aloysius. It's enough of him. But yeah, the most interactions I had with this OC was with that girl. I mean, I didn't really talk with her a lot, but it's just like we kind of like doodled for each other, like interactions between our OCs. That was, and it was not even like full art most of the time. I mean, I had like a mini comic with them, but most of the time it was mostly just when we were having fun around whiteboards. I don't know if you know what whiteboards are. Whiteboards are basically like this space that you share with other artists, and everyone like draws together, so you can like have kind of an interaction. So when you draw something, someone can react and draw something next to them, and you can have like little stories. We did that a lot in OC cartoon OC fandoms, and it was like a lot of fun. And I think that this was like the most we interacted was through this way. So it's not like I talked to a 12-year-old. At least this one. It sounds bad, but trust me, nothing bad happened. I was always aware that there were kids in the area of like OC content, and I always like made sure to minimize the interactions and not do anything like that would make them feel uncomfortable. The age restriction don't work in Poland, exactly. Oh, the next page, dude. Those are my first ever OCs. And it's like probably their 5th design at this point. So she's pouting, if you did not see that, and he's like, you're going to sit there and pout all day, we have a job to do. So, the story behind them, oh my god. Now, just, you know, an hour of explanation of what I had for my original story, because this was like a concept for an original story. Her name is Brinley, and his name is Dante. So the concept for the entire story was that there is a universe in which like it's a kingdom. It's a kingdom, but it's a very modern kingdom, not like, you know, medieval kingdom. Maybe like minimalistically having a little bit of the vibe of steampunk, because back then I was like very much into steampunk. It wasn't like full on steampunk, but had like steampunk like elements of aesthetics. And so the concept was that Dante here was a future king, so he is a prince of his country. And in this country, everyone is born with like a specific skill. Kind of like in Hero Academia, but it's not a quirk, it's just like, it's not like unrealistic quirk, it's just like some people are born to be like gardeners, the others are born to be like, I don't know, be judges or something like that, you know? Everyone basically were born with specific skills that made them perfect for a specific field of work. And only within the royal family, the characters, those of family, like royal family blood, only they had a chance to be able to do everything perfectly. And so Dante was born like that, but shoes are crazy terrible. But the thing was that there was one thing he was bad at, and it was fixing watches. The problem with fixing watches in this universe is that it's not like simple like watch fixing, because some of watches are like normal, but the others hold universes within them. So basically within every watch, depending on how it looks, what aesthetics it holds, it has a like entirely different kingdom within them. And to fix this watch, you need to go into this universe and fix the issue that appears, whether it's like basically a machinery issue or entirely different thing. And Brinley here is like the best at it, even though like she's like, they were I think 14 originally, like that was the concept. They were like young kids, but you know, this is the universe where kids already work. The utopia. No, I'm just kidding. They're basically like, she was an apprentice of a guy who fixed watches, but because he wanted to be an apprentice as well, they both kind of like worked on that, and she showed him how to do it. And that was the entire concept. I genuinely like had a story for 3 seasons. Let's say I call it 3 seasons. Like I had like first plot twist, second plot twist, and then a sequel that would be like a time skip sequel. I had everything in general figured out. I only had like detail to think of. And I believe that one day I will return to this story. I don't know when, I don't know how, but Brinley and Dante have been with me since primary school, I believe. And it's just, the story kept on progressing and changing with, you know, the time. After I watched much more series, I've learned how to write stories better. I know that it needs to be rewritten again and again and again. But it's just like, I hold this concept dear to my heart. And I hope one day I'll be able to show it to the world, because it's a fun idea. It's a fun idea. It's not very original, because there was a cartoon called Pen Zero Part-Time Hero where he also went through different universes to fix the issues there. But I don't know. I feel like mine was like would be more story driven because that one was more episodic kind of a show. Okay, oh, yeah, there's more of them. So Hermos is from this universe. Yeah, Brinley and Dante. Those guys have been redesigned. How old she was at that art? Wait, what? Those are 14 years old. No, kind of. A more cartoonish art style. So, there was like a bunch of characters I kind of designed, but then like when I changed, I redesigned. She stayed. He has been changed quite a lot. It was... then we have more. He stayed. He changed. They stayed. And she stayed. Okay, so mostly this one was entirely like scrapped up and changed entirely. From what I remember originally, this one was supposed to be like from the sportsman family. This one was like gardener. This one was a farmer. More like they were kind of like they were cousins. I don't remember. I think this was librarian. This one was apothecary. And this one was a fiance of Dante. So she was also from kind of like different side of royal blood, but she was like very good in politics. Nice work. Hi, Rivaldo. Hey. So yeah, there were a lot of plot twists. There was plot twists with every single character, but their plot twists kind of like were connected, and they were plot twists for season 2. The plot twist for season 1 was strictly connected to Max, and that was a character who gave like a huge reveal of what's going on and what's going on like wrong. Obviously with Brinley we also had like it was poor Dante who was like the most confused one around everything. Like he knew the least, which was ironic because he was supposed to be like the ruler of this kingdom. Okay, moving on. Oh shit. Oh, you will have tags there. Bam. So, you see, those will be a few last pages where you will see feral eclipse. So, this was when I didn't have JK by the end on my Instagram. I had draws. I forgot about that. Oh man, cringe. I said wine once. So here you have wine once. I'm pretty sure Elkina and Trisha still have their Instagrams. I don't think they're active there anymore. So those three were like kind of like OCs that all matched the wine wand kind of vibe. Yeah, the anatomy is it leaves a lot to, you know, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst. Like for me, it's very. It's amazing how I managed to draw something like that without having, you know, erase buttons or anything like that. For me, it's still like, I don't know. I don't know if I would be able to draw on paper again. Maybe I'll do an event stream where I will be doing your requests as doodles on paper. From whichever kind of pens or pencils I still have. That would be fun. That would be struggle for me. That would be fun for you. But hey, I drew with my feet. It cannot get any worse. Okay, now down there, we had like my main OC, which is ironic that it's the first time she appears in like Drowned Doodles, and her name was Asphodel. It still is, and maybe I still have her art here as well. Let me check. I think I drew her, but it may not be. I may not have it here on my. Let me check. Finished art. Oh, there she is. But it's not entirely like. There was a mistake when I drew that because she shouldn't have an ear. I mean, for a moment I thought I should leave the ear because it's kind of cute. But then I remember Husband Hotel characters do not have ears, so it's not canon. But yeah, that's her. I started drawing her much cuter later on. And I still love her. She was like I think she was the first design that I felt like I did a good job on, like, designing, from like the color palette, everything. I really like Asfi. Okay, that's so that's her. That's one of my friends OC. Which I do not remember the name of. And here is Feral, who is laying on couch, and Asfi is asking her rough night. She's like, fuck you, because she has, like, she's hungover. Basically, that was the concept. Drunkard, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I love how it's just like, you can only see like her hair, that's feather hair, that's there. So that was the concept of this wonderful scene out there. When it comes to Asphodel, she was extremely edgy at the beginning when I wrote her. Like, oh dude, the level of edginess. But the problem is, like, the entire Hazbin Hotel fandom are a bunch of edgelords. So I had to tone it down the moment I realized, oh my god, it's so cringy. It looks a little saucy. Nah! Nah! Aspi, no! No, no, no! Not like this! Not like this! Not like this! I need to turn the page. Okay, that's this is the most disgusting part. Which is, this was supposed to be her ex-husband or something. And I was like, you know, the head, changed head, the base, kinda cool. I don't remember. I think he was supposed to be like Mexican inspired with the those animals that are they're spirit guardians, you know. If you watched Coco from Disney Pixar, they had those kind of colorful kind of animals. I think that was like the inspiration, but it was fucking ugly. It looked like a fucking furiousy, and it disgusts me. I don't know what was supposed to be there, but it fucking looks like I tried to draw Twitch from League of Legends. You can see. No, stop. And even like I do like a random character here writing this is rubbish. So yeah, I was not happy about this design whatsoever, even back then, because it looks shitty. And when it comes to the story of him, like, he was like this asshole rich guy. That's about it. That there was no depth within him. Oh, yeah. And moving on. You see, he looks a little bit better in here, but it's still disgusting. I don't know. It's kind of awful. I cringe at that. Yes, he is like, we're not together anymore. Did you forget? And I even like drew him side face, which is once again awful. It looks like this was, you see, I think this was the moment where I avoided being a furry artist. I think that was the moment where I was like, yeah, no, I will never draw furries ever. That's a lie. I would draw furries. It's just that back then I was like, no. It's like the horns. Where are they going? What the fuck? At least I learned where the ears come out from, but bruh. Her hand also looks weird. I don't know why it's like there. But it's just no. And this is probably the last time we'll ever see those characters. And they were wiped off, never to be seen again. I dropped them, I threw them into trash. I was like, fuck you, I don't want to see you ever again. I don't find the vibes within you. I'm giving up. So say goodbye to them. They're not together anymore. I wonder how strange would their kids look like. Well, technically in hell, you cannot have kids as sinners, so you would never know. It would not be canon. Hello, Boom Waffles. Can I just call you Waffles? It would be a little bit shorter. So yeah, let's move on. Let's freaking move on, because oh, I remember this one. I even like do it digitally. So the concept was, as you can imagine, to draw a lot of characters from old cartoons that were coming out in Poland. So yeah, I sketched out the entire page, and then I did digital art out of it. I didn't shade it though, so it looked terrible, but I don't know, that was kind of like a challenge. I really like how the Moomin ended up looking. I don't know, it just looks so soft, so cute. The eyes are so cute. I think he was like my favorite one to draw, right? You know, as a kid, I mistook those two. Like for me, those two were like kind of like the same cartoons, or like within the same universe. Which is weird because they were not. There are a lot of cartoons that were quite similar, but yeah, Cheburashka that I learned about much later on. Whoa! Yeah. Oh, it's so freaking old. It's so freaking old. Okay, let's move on. So yeah, I really like this Moomin. I think it's a very solid doodle of Moomin. Kojala, yeah, Maya. Here he is. Here's Maya, the bee. It's so sweet, right? Oh, you will see more of Moomins later on because I also was in Moomin OC fandom. So ha ha ha. Let's move on. Oh fuck. Okay. This was. Oh, that one is loaded. That one is loaded. Furries? No. No. Moomins? Yeah. Exactly. I loved Moomins. Like I read all of the books when I was a kid. I remember in one of my classes because Moomin was like Moomin Valley. I think it was like a book that you had to read for at school, and I told my teacher that I've read all of them already, like before they told us we will have to, and she was like, "Oh my god, then tell us which one was your favorite." And I remember I said like Moomin Papa's Diary was like, or like Adventure. I don't remember how the title was called exactly. It was like the best one. Okay, but Moomins, yes, hell yeah, Moomin enjoyers, unite. Okay, this one is a very loaded one. This is the first OC XOC sheep I had. I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name anymore, but unfortunately I don't remember a person who was the creator of this character. Oh, okay. Are you, like, brace yourself, because it's going to be a story about a very toxic person, or rather two people. He looks like Sebastian! Oh my god, okay, so it's going to be a story about a very toxic person, or rather two people. So this was one of the first people that I considered friends within the fandom. And admittedly, his designs were pretty fun. So we did a lot of whiteboard together, we did a lot of doodles to each other. I think I drew a little bit more than he did, but that didn't matter much. The problem was, before the problem appeared, it was a guy that was like, I don't know, a year or two younger than me. He had a boyfriend they were both from America. They were like on different sides of the coast, like different coasts, from different coasts. But they were also polyamorous, which means, if you did not know, they were open to, like, you know, not only be like with each other, but also like have another person as well, like, or people even. I remember they were pretty open, saying like when they had a crush on someone, and it was pretty clear they had a crush on me. And you know, or you do not know, I am an asexual person. I'm not interested in any relationship, especially not in a polyamorous one with Americans from the other side of the world. Gibson reference. And at first they really liked me, and we did a little bit of live streams together. We talked a lot, we had OC interactions, we had sheep together. At some point, I don't know what happened, but they started showing off their toxicity more and more open. Like, they were covering it up at first very well. They were, you know, they had this syndrome of always being the victim, always like you know, like we're the victims there, and they hate us, something. And I told them quite often, like, listen, the way you react to certain things is too much. You're just like being toxic. Like, this is not the way you react. Like, just calm your ass down. And so they were like, no, you do not understand. It wasn't like that. They're lying, blah, blah, blah. And in a way, it's like they were really, like, the smallest things pissed them off, basically. And I was like, the people are, like, they have the right to dislike you, you know, and you have to accept that. If someone does not vibe with you, just go with it. Like, just ignore, block them, and just move on. But they did not listen. And at some point, like, I think, if you did not know, before Hazbin Hotel Pilot came out, there was, like, one of the main animators, who's, I don't remember her entire account, but she was called Ashley. And she was going out with the guy who voiced Angel Dust from the pilot. And they always had some guests around who either also were voice actors or worked by Hazbin Hotel Pilots, and it's just like, you could have like a lot of requests, a lot of fans requested, you know, voice lines from the voice actors, to, you know, immerse into their imaginations of their OCs being together with canon characters. And at some point, I think there was like one stream where this Ashley was being flirted. Like, there was a girl called, I think, Elsie Lovelock. She makes a lot of song covers for cartoons, anime, etc. And she was like flirting a lot with this Ashley, and they were like so pissed off, like, how dare she flirt with her when she's with this guy? And it was obvious, he felt so comfortable, and he was so uncomfortable with that. I was like, I called them out, dude, chill, you don't know that. You're just assuming, you're not friends with them. And this is where I think they were pissed off at me, and they started trying to cancel me. Because once I said, like, if Angel Dust and Vagi, which one is a gay and second is lesbian, were, you know, gay and lesbian, their ship would kind of be intriguing and interesting. And they were like, you're homophobic! The only ships you have are boys and girls! And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And that was basically like break in our friendship. Yeah, have a nice meal, Waspy. I'm just finishing the story about those assholes. And I was like, you know what, whatever, fuck yeah, fuck you, I'm blocking you, you're toxic, never appear in my life again. I think they disappeared from Instagram not that much later. I mean, maybe a year later or so. We still had one common friend, which is like a very young girl, which I kind of like treated her like my little sister. I never had a little sister, so obviously obviously it was hard for me to like treat her like literally like my little sister, but like it was clear that like she needed some company very so often. You know, her household wasn't the best one, so, you know, I was like, I tried to be like, I guess, like this older figure that like kind of can help her out whenever like she feels things are overwhelming. And like she defended them, like, maybe they're mistaken, maybe you should talk it out. I'm like, listen kiddo, I appreciate that you want to like be on the both sides, like protect both sides, and both sides, you care about both sides. I'm going to tell you right away, they're very toxic and I'm worried about you being close to them, but I cannot like tell you not to do that because you're your own person and you make your own choices even though you're still just a kid. But be careful around them. Just because you still hang around with them, it doesn't mean that I'm going to like hate you or something or stop talking to you, because we'll still be friends. You can still come up to me and talk whenever you need it or want to. But be careful around those guys because they're very toxic. And yeah, like a few months later, they hurt her as well. So I was like, I wasn't that pissed off when they did this shit to me, but when they did this shit to her, I was so freaking pissed off because they were like older than her and they hurt her. And I was like, yeah, that's unforgivable. Fuck off, disappear from this world. Basically, I was so pissed off because she was just like very lovely, innocent kid, and they were just asshole-ish young adults. And I hope nothing good in life happened to them because they don't deserve that. So yeah, you know, if I was edgy, I would like scrap it out or just like smush it or just throw this page away. But those are still memories. I'm not the kind of person who entirely disposes of everything that I've ever drew. At least not on paper. I already do that digitally, so this is like kind of like archive that I don't want to touch. It's just something that I want to keep. Even though, you know, a lot of bad memories, but back then it was fun. And I really liked and enjoyed drawing them. It's just, you know, unfortunately some people are shitty. I see now why it was a cult. Oh, we'll still have a little bit more stories coming up. But a break from Hospital Hotel to go to DuckTales. And this was supposed to be me as a duck, which is funny, considering how you call my laugh at the, like... my name quacking, like... I just realized that, fuck! Okay, so the backstory for this one, because obviously I consider you not that knowledgeable about cartoons. I don't know if you know the cartoon DuckTales. It used to, like, it was a very old cartoon, but I think in 2017 they made a reboot with like very huge voice actors like David Tennant, the actor, playing the character of Scrooge McDuck, so the main character technically. It was a huge hit, huge success, and genuinely, it was so fun to watch DuckTales. I really I love this cartoon. Like, the last few episodes were like, yeah, okay, not my favorite one, but they were still fine. It was like DuckTales, the reboot DuckTales were created for fans of Donald Duck universe. I don't know if you were the ones who read Donald Duck comics. I never had them myself, but my neighbors had shit tons of them, and every time I went to them, like, I was like getting, you know how in anime they show like, oh, you have Shonen Jump, borrow it to me, you know? I was the same with Donald Duck comics, because like my parents did not buy this for me because they already bought me other comic books like Witch or other ones, so yeah, it was too much to collect the Donald Duck comics, but my neighbors collected that, and every single time I went to them and I saw the new one, I was like, give me that! I want to read it! The DuckTales was good to watch? Yeah! So the reboot was fun, because it brought up a lot of characters that were never shown before within Disney cartoons, but they were shown in comic books from Donald Duck. So, it was, I think, the end of the first season, because like the main mystery was like, where is Della Duck? Della Duck is Donald Duck's twin sister, and she's the mother of the triplets Huey, Dewey, and Louie. So in the finale, this is going to be a spoiler, we got back Della. She came back because she was on the moon. It's not much of a spoiler. We get that at the very beginning, I think, of the story. She was on the moon while, but then she managed to return to her family, but in exchange, Donald got onto the rocket or whatever and flew to the moon. So it's like, we love Della, but give us Donald back, was because I love Donald Duck. He's one of my favorite characters when it comes to Disney. Especially the classic Disney characters, like from Goofy, Mickey Mouse, and everything. Donald was always somehow my favorite. Maybe because he's so unfortunate. Like, you cannot help but cheer on him. Like, yes, this time you will get something good in life, you know? So yeah, there was a sacrifice in Donald Duck. And yeah, everyone basically were like, leave Donald alone, because he suffers every single episode. He suffers a lot. So that's the concept of like me being like on protest, like, give us Donald back, like we want the full family together, not an exchange, and this is like Huey. Because the characters believe that Donald just went somewhere, like he was safe, and on Earth he was not. And this one here, I think it was supposed to be an OC, but yeah, never happened. I had a lot of OCs, and you will see them. Not in this sketchbook, I don't think so, but you will see my OCs from DuckTales. And a lot of doodles, actually, because one of my OCs were like, I would say on the level of Aloysius, kind of fun to draw. So you will see quite a lot of her later on. But this one was, I guess, first concept. It was scrapped off because, yeah, I just didn't vibe with her. Oh, okay, so that was the story of DuckTales. Another fandom, because I was never only in one fandom, never ever. This one was the OC that I drew only once and never again. It was mostly to challenge myself to draw in different art style. I also had like digital art of her later on made. It was lineless art because Marisa was an OC for Tangled, but TV series. Because, you know, Tangled with Rapunzel and Eugene and Pascal, the chameleon, you know? Oh, Jojo. Why Ace is not lore accurate? Shut up, Sigura! Shut up! He has accurate abs, okay? He's safe. Because this is the universe where Sabo came and saved them all, and they're all living happily ever after, okay? Okay, great, fantastic. Now that we have that. Mahou Shoujo, kind of. So Marisa was, I think she was from the Moon Kingdom, because there was like a Sun Kingdom, and in the TV series there was a Moon Kingdom. So she was like, I guess she was like a protector of the land in between Sun and Moon Kingdom. Therefore, the staff with like kind of like Moon and the Sun. You know, like it's a shape of a sun, but inside you have like a moon. So yeah, I never really had like any deep story. She was like kind of like silly kind of character who takes it easy and it's like she's never serious unless it's like a very serious situation. So you see her being happy here. Everything is a-okay, and she's here with Pascal. Look. I really like how I drew like, her side face here. I had a lot of references. But, you know what's funnier? Like, what's more fun than talking about this OC is the moment, what happened to me in real life when I was drawing this. Because I have like a very clear memory of how I was drawing this one. Why was that? You see, back then I was already in college, obviously. I was already in college, and I remember it being Thursday. Because I was supposed to, I think I had classes at like 11. So, you know, I had enough time to wake up at like 9 AM to get myself ready and then go on my way to the college. But the thing is, I was laying down, you know, back then my sister was still living with me. And I was sleeping on the couch. You know, like the couch, you can open it up and it's huge and it's very comfortable, so I didn't mind it at all. And the only minus is that I had no private space, but my sister liked locking herself up in her room anyway, so it wasn't that much of an issue. But I remember, it was like 9 AM. I was like, okay, it's time to, you know, get ready, eat something and move on, because I have like language classes, Turkish classes in this afternoon. And I tried to get up. And suddenly, out of nowhere, you know, just, you know, how you usually get up from bed. Left leg, right leg, I don't remember that, but I just, like, got up. Like, even, like, I lifted myself. I didn't even get off of bed yet. And suddenly, I feel the pang in my neck. Like, immediately, like, I feel like something, like, cracked there. I was like, it hurts. I tried to turn my head. I cannot because it hurts as hell. I was like, what the fuck? And I started screaming because I was so confused. And my sister came in and was like, why the hell are you screaming? I don't remember. Like, I think she was like, she didn't have that many classes anymore, so she was mostly at home. And I was like, I cannot turn my head. My neck hurts. She's like, what the hell are you talking about? What did you do? I'm like, I got up! And she's like, started laughing at me because who the hell gets hurt after getting up from bed? Spoiler alert, or rather fun fact. Few years later, she woke up the same way as I did and was like, oh, now I understand why you were panicking so much, because that's a terrifying experience. But I couldn't turn my head left or right. And I immediately called my mom. I was like, Mom, I cannot move my head. What am I supposed to do? To give you a background why, as an adult person, I called my mom. My mom is a pharmacist, okay? She knows her shit. She knows what to do in this kind of situations. She kind of looks like Kim Possible. Does she? I mean, I guess the hair, right? The hair shape. I could see that with the hair shape. Like it's short. Without the ponytail, you take it longer, and the hair would be like Kim Possible's. That's true. And I was like, I can't turn my head. My mom was like, calm down, what happened? And I explained it to her. It's like, tell your sister to go to the pharmacy and buy you this, this, and that. Make sure to keep your, neck stable. So like an idiot, it was already spring. So it was already warm. Like an idiot, I took out the chimney scarf, the one that's like locked into a circle, and I just like twisted around to stabilize my neck and head. I felt like a fucking idiot, and I was like, I cannot move. So I was like holding the paper like that. I was like drawing like that. I was like, it hurts. It hurts. I cannot move. Legs cramped and couldn't wake up one night. Damn. Those eyes? The eyes were entirely different though. Finally was able to get up. No massage helped. I had this issue for like 2 weeks after the pain went away. So I immediately called my friends like, listen, tell our professor that I cannot move my head. So automatically I will not be sacrificing myself and coming. Like, she's just like, it's impossible because I will keep on turning my head and making things worse. So yeah, that's a fun story about the time where I was drawing Marisa. I couldn't turn my head, so I had to like sit straight and draw it. Oh, that was awful times. Awful times. I do not... Like, I hope no one will ever have to go through this from all of you guys. Because it's awful. It is awful. It's just so awful. Cool. Thank you, Waffles. Thank you. This one also have a story. You probably do not know this character. Because once again, it was a Disney cartoon. TV cartoon. Marisa is straight. Yeah, exactly. I don't think she was not shipped with any canon character, so she was only like close friends with some, but I don't think like there was any character that was like, yeah, they're perfect for each other. And I didn't really draw her later on at all, so. But if you did not know, check out Disney Tangled TV series. If you don't want to watch it, but you like musical songs, I highly recommend you listening to the songs from the show because they were all amazing. They were amazing. Yeah, that's her, right? So, the story about this one is I drew this. You can kind of, if you watched BBC Sherlock TV series, you may recognize the apple though. I owe you. I owe you. Which was an app, like this was the scene with the apple in Sherlock was made by like Moriarty. Why did I put this apple in the hand of this character? Because the actor who played Moriarty in Sherlock's BBC voiced this character, and this character was from TV show called Big Hero 6, which also had a full-ass movie, but also later on also had the TV series. He got a doctorate. He was a professor, just an evil one. I will eat you. Yeah. No, I owe you. That was supposed to be an I owe you, at least in Sherlock. And because the actor was coming to one of the conventions, I really wanted to get his autograph here. But last minute update was that he cannot come in the end, so I never got an autograph, and it was very sad. All that is left is this art. As always. He was a cool villain, though. Universities should be more precise picking students, considering one just recently went with a machete, no, not machete, with an axe, and you know, just walked around the campus and harmed 2 people, like, well, killed 1 person. Yes, they should make like mental tests or something. I don't know. Ooh, talking about Moomins, we have Moomins. Back to Moomins. Okay, so this is my OC, which is technically kind of like my self-insert. Here I have like Moomin Mama's apron and Moomin Papa's hat, which is a sequel to this scene. Because I was like, yeah, if you take away Moomin Papa's hat and Moomin Mama's apron, they all look the same, right? I mean, in anime, they had different eye colors, so that's the only way you can recognize them. But that was like the concept for this kind of like, I guess, mini comic. It's so cute, thank you. And here it's like sad Moomin saying, I don't want to hibernate, because if you do not know, Moomins hibernate for winter. Because Moomin Troll always wanted to go with Snufkin. So like, I want to go with Snufkin. And my species, which were like closer to Snufkins, don't hibernate. So I'm like, you sleep the whole winter, lucky you, because I hate how cold it is in winter. That's why I was like, yeah, I don't get it. Like, I would love to sleep the whole entire winter. And there is a Snufkin one. Snufkin is drawn awfully, but yeah, I was like, there was a meme with Snufkin when he's like, be gay, do crimes. I don't know where it came from. I mean, I know the crimes part because Snufkin, like, he was a crime lord. I swear, in anime, if you watched it, if you don't remember, trust me, it was like that. He was up to no good all the freaking time. So I was like, yeah, you can do crimes, but smoking is bad because I hate smokers. But he wanted his pipe back. He's a kid. How is he supposed to like smoke pipe? That's illegal. You cannot do that. Oh, and here's more. Here's Snufkin and his father, Duxter, which was my favorite character when I read books as a kid. And then I was like, oh my god, he's like, you know, after years, like everyone like in Moomin fandom as adults, they crashed on Duxter, or Snufkin, either of those. I mean, as a kid, I feel like the kids very so often had the crush on Snufkin. Actually, fun fact, did you know that Urahara from Bleach was based on Snufkin? That's a random fact that I just dropped on you. I don't know how you feel about that. But it's true. It's true. Hidekubo said it himself. Confirmed. So yeah, just random art. And back to husband. Back to husband. I'm sorry. So we have Alastair and Charlie, which it's not the best art, but you can see that I kind of like got a little better, I think. Or maybe I'm coping. But I think at this point I drew quite a lot digitally. So yeah, you may know those characters because Hazbin Hotel have been extremely popular, especially in recent years when we already got the first season. And apparently the next 2 are already in works. I'm pretty sure the second one is almost finished and the third one is in progress. So yeah, I think those were requests. I think people just, because sometimes I do those drawing requests and I doodled whatever people requested. So someone requested Alastair, someone requested Charlie. This is the toxic guy I talked about you. It's also his OC that had a crush on Alastair. So yeah, that was his OC. And this is my Asphodel crying. I don't remember why. Maybe it's just was a request or someone requested Asphodel and I was like, yeah, I'm going to draw her crying. Because why the hell not? I love hurting my OCs, you know? I love that. And here, oh, those were definitely sheeps. And this was like kind of, it's a very cringy thing. Jesus. So the idea was, I had very nice, like I wrote nice. I really like this. Why do I not write so nicely right now? What? Ah, Zigura, Zigitello, you did not see the true furry that was before. So the cringe concept was that every character had a name. Or like symbolism or something. So every time I drew a sheep, I was looking for a line from the song that had like her name was Grace. So Amazing Grace, blah blah blah. Love songs. This was those two are OCs of like 2 different people. So good, thank you. I don't think so, but thank you. This one, it's like those 2 girls were so goated. This one was amazing at character design. This one was just amazing at like drawing cartoon characters and design as well. She was freaking 12. Another one with 12-year-old. This one I was a little bit older. I was like, God damn it, why are they so skillful? And I'm just standing there. And this is once again this shitty character. I don't know why I drew his head so huge, but yeah. Let's move on because, yeah, I already talked about that. Then we had like Popcorn Guy and I guess like Candy Girl. The creator of this OC was a very lovely girl. Still is. And the sad part is, but maybe we'll get there later on, I would say so. She had like a twin sister and there was like a little bit of an issue, but I'll talk about it once we probably get to one of her OCs as well. She was very kind. I always was jealous of her because she had like iguana as a pet. I was like, that's so cool, I want an iguana as a pet as well. Never got one obviously, but it's a lot of work. But I loved her Instagram stories when she showed how she cleans, like she like, you know, showers the iguana, feeds it. It was just so cute. Was that the difference between strokes? Wait, what? What's what? Those are Has-Been Hotels still. This is like fully on Has-Been Hotel. This guy was an OC of a girl that, now I think about it, was very creepy because she was like, back then she was like 28. And she interacted a lot with like a 12-year-old girl who designed this previous character. We had this one. But the thing, what was creepy about it, or rather like terrible about it, is like she put so much pressure on like always shipping her OCs with that girl's OCs, and I was like, I didn't know at first how much pressure she put on her, because later on I talked with the girl a little bit more, because we also had kind of a ship, but she was like, yeah, but I like this, like to ship this character with another character from the show. I'm like, dude, it's fine, it's your OC, like you do you. And she's like, oh really, thank God, because like I stopped shipping with people mostly because like some of them like were so pressured me so much about like constantly drawing my character with theirs. I'm like, dude, you're a kid, have fun with your OCs, it's like nothing that serious. Hi Shu. Oh, it's fine. Only get home in 1 hour. I hope this 1 hour will pass very soon and you'll be able to go home and relax. So thank you for stopping by, Stu. And yeah, I hope you will have a nice evening, I guess, maybe. There's a Popcorn Boy and Candy Girl. So yeah, this girl was, she was actually the first one I like kind of followed in Has-Been Hotel fandom. She was also very toxic. You could say that was kind of like a human failure. I feel bad about saying that, but it's like, just 28, not working, still in college, and you know, in America paying for college is, you know, not an easy walk. It's a lot of money. And she kept on like not finishing the college, so she basically kept on wasting her parents' money. She kept on complaining about doing chores all the freaking time. Acted very childish. I'm like, now that I think about her, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is something that I was thinking like I never want to, like, now I'm thinking like I never want to end up like someone like this, and thankfully I did not. Yeah. I think she was the first person who this toxic guy who has this had this OC and the OC that I shipped with my OC with. They had the beef first. But back then, both of them were kind of toxic. So it's like, none side was good, you know? You have a friend like that? Oh, really? Oh, shade. I'm so sorry. I hope you don't talk about Haruna. I'm joking! That was a joke. That was a bad joke. That was a bad joke. And here's another sheep. Well, I did not write down, so I guess I gave up on writing the lyrics. Those are closer to furries, if anything. This one was like kind of piñata guy. This girl, I don't know, like heart shape, unicorn kind of creature. Senna guy. Oh, well, that explains even more now. Like, the more I learn about the guy, the more I understand why he was so shit as a support. Oh my goodness. Okay, moving on. Another sheep. And this is the girl who was like a twin sister for the girl who had the candy OC. I really like both of them. I don't know what happened. I will probably never learn because one day I realized that the girl who owned this OC blocked me on Instagram, and I was like, oh. And I wrote to her sister like, hey, listen, like, you don't have to tell me if you don't know or if you don't want to. Because I still talked with her sister normally. I was like, but, like, can I ask you if you maybe, I don't know, or can ask her whether, like, why she blocked me? Like, I just, like, she does not have to unblock me. I don't know, if I did something wrong, I wanted to just apologize. Because, you know, you never know. Sometimes people don't like what you do, but sometimes people don't like what you say to them or something like that. She said she will ask. In the end, I never got any response, and I didn't push it any further. Because I assume, like, if she didn't respond, she probably learned what happened. She still talked to me, so it couldn't be, like, I will never know. Kind of bugs me, but at the same time, like, I'm not a person who's going to, like, you know, stalk the person and demand them to, like, you know, give me an answer why they blocked me. It was just sad because I really liked them. Like, both of them. One, well, in a way I still had, like, kept in contact, but it was just, I was just sad, you know? I was just sad because I really liked them. But you never know. Yeah, I respected her decision. This one was, like, kind of like Water Nymph OC that I made for a contest. Where, I guess, because there were, like, a lot of contests where people were like, draw this in your style, or interactions, whatever. There were a lot of different kind of contests. And this one was like OC design contest, so I designed her. I even, like, won. I guess what I won was, like, a doodle or something. I don't even remember what I requested, but yeah, technically this is not my OC anymore, but it's my design. It's not the best though. And here, oh my god, okay, you can see the colors. This is the moment when I learned about color pencils, like, you know, mechanical pencil, and I was like, hell yeah, you look so dope. So this was supposed to be like hellish creature, kind of a pet for Asphodel. She's very cutesy with asphodel flowers, because if you did not know, asphodel is the name that I made from, like, the flower asphodel, which was kind of like a flower from hell, I guess, or at least in, like, Greek mythology. First mascot, yeah! It's the first mascot. It was kind of like a merge of koala bear with, I don't even know, wombat. I think it was like wombat, koala bear, something, and bunny. I don't know. I drew him a little bit, but then I scraped him because I just didn't feel like it brings out anything unique. Kind of, I treated him more as a baby than a pet, though. Oh wow, there is another sheep art. So let's skip through that. I think it's probably not the last one, unfortunately. I said I drew them quite a lot. Like, this is only traditional, but digitally I also drew them quite a lot. And this one is cooler one because they like were like best friends kind of. And no fucks given. So this OC, fun fact, this OC, once my friend designed him, it was like all the girls were like, "Oh my god, do you like maybe you want to ship him with my OC?" And she was like quite overwhelmed. So to kind of you know, make her feel more comfortable, I was like, "Hey, can our OC just be clearly like best buddies?" And she was like, "Oh, thank God, finally." Because everyone wants to ship with him, and I cannot do that. And, oh, there is a little comic about them, you see? This is, like, about the situation. Those are all fangirls. And it's like, who are those demons? They're all my admirers, actually. And this is basically, like, situation that's, like, she went through. It's like, they all seem cool. I don't want to break their hearts. And it's like, that's rough, bro. And then they will have next parts like, this is why I brought you here to help me with this problem. But Asphodel clearly says that it's impossible to solve this problem. She's like, suicide mission abort, and she walks away quickly. It's like, hey, get back here, you coward. What kind of bro are you? Because they were bros. So yeah, that was the entire kind of like a comic. I'm honestly like surprised how how it actually is constant it is. You see, I always like to do like those kind of stories, so nice to see it back. Okay, moving on. We have, this was my Agretsukosi. You know those sand foxes? This is called sand foxes? Sand fox? No, wait. Sand fox. Yeah, sand fox. Yeah. They have like this kind of like funny faces. They have very funny Tibetan fox. Oh, Tibetan fox. That's what it's called. Tibetan foxes are so freaking funny. Their faces are funny. So I wanted to like sketch out. Sketch her out. Wait. Let me just write that down. So cute, thank you. She was very chill. You know, worked at the same office as Retsuko. And she was just like hanging around, just liked her peace and quiet and just doing whatever. Doing whatever but work. She didn't like flashy people. She just like entered the company and left as quickly as she could. That was her whole personality. And here, I guess it's a doodle for Q&A. Ask me anything. This was still my... I think this was still my kind of like Moomin. Yeah, that was my Moomin self-insert. It's just like a little bit redesigned. I forgot about the tail though. And here, we have random OCs. Those two was from one person. This one was shipped with my, like shipped, you know, those were kid characters, so they were most like stupid kid-like shenanigans, with Aloysius, the moth child. This design was like top tier. I look at the shapes, like I literally redrew it one-on-one, so it's a perfect representation. I just really liked her. She was such a fun character because she didn't speak. She just did like, you know, goat noises. So it was like, there was a lot of situations where I could just like draw out like comical situations. That's why I really liked that. Just easygoing kind of thing. But moving from, see, you have Agretsuko, Moomins, has been, we need something new. And the new thing is Villainous. If you have not heard anything about the cartoon called Villainous, it was supposed to be like a pilot cartoon show episode from a person from Mexico. It's kind of the cartoon was about basically like villains fighting heroes. So there's perspective of villains. And this was my first OC Toxie, which later on is scrapped off. The concept of a fun fact is like her powers were then transferred to my Sakamoto Days OC. Heavy about like having like your body like just create toxins or on their own through the fluids you create. So sweat, saliva. Actually, saliva was healing. Like saliva was kind of an antidote, but yeah. Pee. All the kind of like stuff. And the cartoon itself had quite fun designs, which you'll see later on. This one was an OC of this one kiddo that I talked about before, that she was also hurt by those assholes, which I also had a like extremely unfortunate experience with. I mean, not negative for me. I mean, traumatic, I could say, because as I said, she had like rough time at her home. She was from Russia, and yeah, she had some issues here and there. She tried to look at the bright side of life, but very often she was sad, and she had bad thoughts, and there was like, to not say too much because it's a very like, you know, private issue. Once I got a message and I was scared that I will never hear from her again, because that was like, you know, a goodbye message. I was like panicked. I wrote to other friends of hers that we had quite a lot of common friends, so I wrote to them like what to do. Thankfully, we were able to figure out her other like family members' Instagram accounts and wrote to them, and they found her before something bad happened. But it was just like, that was like one time where I'm not the one to pray to God. I believe in God, but I'm not the one to pray. That day I prayed, like that night I prayed, because it was just terrifying thinking that I may never hear from this young girl ever again. It's just, I'm just happy that she got better, because she got better. She got help that she needed, professional help. She got better, and that's all that matters. But yeah, it was scary. It was very scary. Like, I never went through something like that. So by moving on from this traumatic experience story, like, very vague, but you know, it was a very, you know, the situation is not something that I want to relive in detail out of the respect. And this is Flag. This was a canon character from the show Villainous, and he was one of the favorite ones. I don't know why. He wore paperback on his head, and he was the inventor of like all the Villainous mechanism. God, mending glasses. Yeah, he did. He did. And then I guess a lot of random doodles. Here's some flower. Here is a character that definitely. Actually, I wanted to say this is like a random character, but I think I may be mistaken. I think it was supposed to be like you know this show Good Omens with David Tennant, and the other one where it's like angel and demon. I think it was supposed to be a gender bend demon, probably. I'm not sure though. There's someone's Moomin OC. This is a random character for sure. Or maybe not. Maybe that was someone's OC and now I'm rude. This is Little Mai from Moomins. And this is once again my OC Toxie. And this is another cartoon. This is the girl that 28-year-old girl failure. Sorry. And this is a character from another show called Camp Camp. It was a cartoon for adults. It was very fun. The first season, I think, and first two seasons maybe even, were fully out for free on YouTube. Made by Rooster Teeth. I really liked the show. It was very fun. It was about like summer camp full of kids that that all represented some kind of like subculture or like personalities. There was even like one character that looked very similar, extremely similar. He was an artist. He loved to draw art, and you know he was a German, and actually he was from Austria actually. Not German exactly, but he had a German accent, and you know, this was this kind of show that made those kind of jokes. The one with the Doctor Who, yeah, David Tennant, the one from the Doctor Who, the 11th Doctor or 10th. I always mistook them. 10th Doctor, I think. He wasn't a pain. Yeah, because, you see, because that was a reincarnation who was still young and still could become a painter, you know, but the joke was obviously clear. So yeah. I really liked the art style as well. I really liked, like, the art style was lineless once again. I had OCs for this part as well, and I'm pretty sure you will see OCs in this sketchbook or next sketchbooks. Yeah. And it also was, like, kind of a joke, kind of. You know, Capcom was kind of like South Park, but less about, you know, your daily, like it wasn't that political. Yeah. 10th Doctor. 11th was the actor who later played on in the spin-off from Game of Thrones. And here, you know them. This is a redesign of Brinley and Dante, my original OCs. The shoes are a little bit better drawn, still not the best, but yeah. And this is the guy who fixed watches. So Brinley was apprentice at his place. I just loved drawing those little hats. I don't know why. It was just something that always stayed within her design. You will see a lot of Brinley redesigns. Dante not so much, but Brinley went through a lot of redesigns. Oh, yeah. As you can see, I really liked using my colored pencil. I don't know. Don't you think the red and blue doodles look a little bit cooler for some freaking reason? Like, this one is decently drawn, even. Like, I'm not even, like, cringing looking at this one. This one is worse because it's like, you know, the face is from the side that I don't know how to draw that well. This side, perfect. This side, not so good. Yeah, so there's more. And this is my OC. Damien, Prince of Hell. So the whole joke, as I said, every character was kind of like a running joke. So his joke was that he was a Prince of Hell, and it's like... that was his thing. That was his thing. So here it's like, for example, this character was called David. So he's like, he tells Damien that's like, what did I tell you about putting those numbers on a camp shirt? Because all of them, they had like the same camp shirt, which was like just a yellow t-shirt. And as you can see, like 666, which is, you know, the number of Antichrist. And he's like, it's my father, he keeps on doing that. It's like on all my clothes, I cannot stop doing, like, it's not, I don't do this on my own. More fond of him as the role of Prince Philip. Prince Philip? Oh, right, that's true. And this character was Gwen, so those are camp counselors. This one was like happy-go-lucky, easygoing. This one is like always tired and just done with everyone's bullshit. But she's also avid fanfic writer and just fanfic fan, and also a monster fucker. Gwen was wild. Yeah, so she was, because, you know, she's a monster fucker. Obviously, she's interested how Satan looks like, you know, and everything. So Damon told her that there was no sexual intercourse, but a ritual. So. And he was like, if you want to know more about my father, you can ask Quartermaster. He met my father. I have not. And Quartermaster was this mysterious character, was a Quartermaster. And he's like, he's right. He was very sussy. It's probably like, so it would be in canon for him to know, like, Satan himself. That's why I thought of this kind of like gag. Oh, this is the guy who, you know, have anyone told you you look like Hit? And you know, like, because this is how he looked like. Even his name I think was Adolf. I'm not even making it up, I don't think so. And everyone's like, don't say it, because, you know, you cannot say that. Even though it's true, I cannot say that, so hey, I censored it back then. Three guys similar to Tokyo Revengers's character? This guy? Or this guy? Tokyo Revengers's guy. Which one? Wait, this one or this one? Yeah? Which one? The one that was in Shishitoren? Or the one from Bufurin? I'm thinking right now and I'm like... And this one was like the chillest girl. So they were buddies. It's not a ship, because later on I shipped him with like... I shipped him with a sheep girl. Because, you know, what's better than to pair a Prince of Hell with the most innocent girl ever, which was OC of my friend. And here we have more villainous doodles. So this one was like the main villain, the main character. And actually drew him out pretty well. And I think his name was just Mr. Villainous. I may be wrong though. I'm probably wrong. And here's Flag again. He's my OC Toxie. He's my friend's OC again. More Toxie, and random OC that I do not remember at all. I have no clue whose OC that was. But at this point, I felt like I grew more comfortable doodling. You got 3 unsure? Who got 3 unsure? Wait, what? There's such a character? I don't remember. Who got 3 unsure? And here's, look, me trying to doodle, I guess, my face, but in different kind of emotions. So I was like, yeah, that does not work. That does not, this does not work. I tried to, like, you know, learn different kind of faces. I don't know why I crossed it out. This one is pretty good. This one's pretty good. I don't remember why I did that. I think it was just like, you know, exercises. Something I'm not doing that anymore. Oh. There's me again. Back when I was collecting Funko Pops and I couldn't keep up with how many Funko Pops I wanted to have. And your drawing had 3 in shared. Takemichi. Takemichi is from Tokyo Revenger. Wait, what? I mean, oh, why do I think of Windbreaker all the time? Why? You see, I erased the memory of Tokyo Revengers. When I see Tokyo Revengers, I cross it out. I'm like, Windbreaker? I guess a little bit, yeah, okay. I'm like, yeah, there's only one series about delinquents that I can have in my heart right now, and it's Windbreaker. So I have no idea why I wrote down in my shirt I could pee in a bucket and tell him it's a beer. I don't know why. Okay, I don't know what was the reference, what that reference is. But yeah, this one was someone's OC, so this was like an interaction, because he, like, the concept of this guy, from what I remember, was like he wants to be like a villain, but he doesn't know how to be a villain. So he thinks drawing heart on someone's arm is like a villainous act. But yeah, he thought he did something wrong, but he did not. So that's a cute. It's Jojo Jojo was coming out! Look, I even had it shirt. Okay, so yeah, and look, this is a sweater. This is my iconic sweater back before my mafia times. Yeah. Those were the days. Okay, more villainous. This one was I had a French friend, guys. Don't judge me. This was like the one French person that I knew and I liked. Her nickname was Donut. I called her Donut. And it's like, I drew her, and it was like my OC's reaction, because like, oh no, BH, so he was supposed to be called Black. Oh my god, my model is going crazy because I think my face is not visible. I also had French friend. French fry.
prize. I knew it. I had a feeling. Like, I knew that you couldn't have a real friend from France. Yeah, so basically it's just like, because she was afraid of the main villain guy, my OC, because he's kind of an abusive kind of character, so she's like tired whenever she sees the top hat. She's like, oh, I cannot never run away from the top hat. Don't, we're like American Bride. French would be baguette. She got tail? No, wait, what? Oh. No, this is from her belt. This was like kind of a ribbon from her belt. This is not a tail. It's just not sketched out very well. And here, more random doodles. This one is totally random. I guess I was trying out a new art style. I don't know. And here's my, back to my Akretsukoshi. She didn't like Tsunoda. Tsunoda was the annoying, deer girl. She was like a Nokotan. Yeah, she was like a Nokotan, a popular girl. And she's like, towards slow life. She loved slow life. She's, I guess I tried to do her side portrait. I don't like how it looks though. This is someone so see. I don't know what that was. And this is once again Brilliant Dante. And she's like, because he's low energy, she's high energy. So he's like, how are you so energetic all the time? Here we have Asphodel in emo face and in a pretty dress. Which, fun fact, I think this dress was designed... The design of the dress was inspired by the dress I wore to my prom. Because it was like dark blue. And like, it had like, on the outside had like more transparent side. So yeah. That was it. So... Smirk cat. Then I think it's just the drawing request. This was someone's OC, this was someone's OC, this was someone's OC. I don't know if it wasn't like a Moomin character from... Like a Moomin self-insert from the guy that was toxic, you know? This is Camp OC of girl. This is Blushing David from Camp. This is Angel Dust. I really like how I drew his eyes here. Damn. Like, that's pretty... The shapes in here, sometimes I'm like, yeah, this is me. And like, randomly I see like one doodle that's somehow like better than all the others. I'm like, damn! Oh shit, I bent one page. Whatever. This is someone so see from Villainous and Flag again. I told you, Flag was very popular. Everyone wanted me to draw Flag all the time. I don't know why. I have no clue why. Okay, and then moving on. What? Another has-been content, but not only, Villainous as well. So, this one... Damn, another sad story. How much more do I have left of this? Not too much. This one was an OC of a very close friend that I used to have. Unfortunately, all her OCs had half pink, half blue hair for some reason. Even in real life, she dyed her hair half pink, half blue. Damn that mole. That one! Yeah, that mole, yeah. She looks like, kind of like a merge of Sadako from, you know, The Ring movies. With short hair and French because the beret. So, the story about this friendship is that, like, she was the first person that I got, like, extremely close with to the point where, like, I wanted to visit her in real life. Never happened. Maybe it's better because I guess it would hurt more. We were, like, she was, like, my first closest online friend. But at some point, she just stopped. Like, she started getting into other, like, communities. And it felt like she's, like, neglecting our friendship. And I constantly told her that. And once, like, there was a moment where she basically went radio silent. And I only knew what's happening to her due to
her making me befriend her best friend from Germany. I was just pissed off because back then I already had, like, from my school times, I had trust issues, and for her to do this to me after I told her many times that I don't do shit well when someone just cuts me off without telling me, listen, I need a break, it's very hard for me to, like, accept this kind of thing. So it hurts because I drew a lot of our OCs together. She was the one through whom I started drawing anime OCs because she started getting into Hero Academia, and because she, like, had no one back then to, like, draw Hero Academia content with, I kind of joined her and started drawing together with her to motivate her. So yeah, it sucks ass. There's a lot of art that I archived after, like I would say, like, she fucked up our friendship. She tried to kind of rekindle a few times, but I was already too tired, and our common friend group also, like, fell apart. Even, like, because this one I don't feel that negatively about, because in the end, I, like, she kind of apologized, and we didn't have, like, this kind of we didn't have a huge argument, unlike with other person who was later on my closest online friend, and it hurt, like, a lot. It hurt me a lot when this one kind of, like, just pushed me aside, but you know, that's a story for another day. I'll probably make, like, after I make the series of my art adventures, the doodle one, the videos that I make, I'm pretty sure I'm going to talk about my traumas of trust issues and everything. What years of drawing have I come to? Fuck if I know. I have no clue. I have literally no clue. I would have to go on Instagram and check, more or less. I don't know. 2018? 17? Maybe? So yeah, this is someone's OC, this is someone's OC, both from Villainous. This was again the Donuts OC, and she smooched the flag because that's the sheep that they had. Added to time-lapse later for VOD. Yeah! It's like, yeah, to learn more about my trauma, go to this video! Bruh. Oh, here's Camp. So this was an OC, a hippie OC. He's like, oh shoot, you're one of those hippies, aren't you? I thought they were extinct. Too high to realize they're already in hell. He was a very rude boy. He's like, that's me, take it back, because she was in general nice. And this is a cute little sheep. So this girl was like innocent girl based on, like, her design was based on sheep. And you know, because, like, sheep is an animal that's, like, in a way connected to God and Jesus. I was like, oh, this is a perfect sheep, you know. She's a sheep, and he's a son of Satan. Like, I love this kind of sheep. Oh, and here you can barely see it because I barely sketched it out, but it was supposed to be like a backstory for Toxie. She was just a little kid. Her parents were scientists who sold her, kind of, like, accepted for the, like, some organization to make tests on her. And so she grew up in kind of like asylum, kept on being tested on. There's some you know, random notes to remember, but, like, so she was closed up, but then someone saved her, and it was Flag and the bear. Fun fact, the bear, which you'll see in the next page, this bear, he only groans, you know, but he was voiced by Markiplier. Like, you know, he did the groans. So basically, this was the whole story, how they came. It's like, yeah, we have to take her, and the bird takes her. It's just a hug. It's not like something murderous. And they take her, and they go together to their hideout. Kuma Bird. Yeah, he was the OG Kuma Kaijin.
Classic shy girl with big badungas. This one did not have big badungas because those were kids, so... Oh, this is Asphodel with 2 OCs of this girl failure. 28-year-old girl failure. Oh my god, this one's screaming. Holy fuck, I forgot about that.
Okay, so I may have read Viking fanfics. You know Viking, the series from History Channel? and in one fanfic, it was like 2-part fanfic. Jesus Christ, it was so good. Actually, the girl was so goated at writing. It's because of her I started reading those to begin with. And it's not only that, she wrote for Westworld, she wrote for Marvel, I read for Witcher, I read all of her fanfics. I got into fandoms just to understand the universe she writes for, you know? Like, that's what I did. I was this insane. Like, she was so good at writing. I mean, still is, hopefully. So there was like the scene where he's like, yeah, I'm going to turn our baby upside down or something like that. To her wife, to his wife, he said that, and that's basically the story of the duel. I didn't make it up. I just recreated the scene from. Oh, look, I signed myself. This is not me. Basically, it's just like me. Haha, I drew this. Anyways, I swear I didn't make it up. It's just like it was a scene from a fanfic, not mine. Back then, I didn't write fanfics. That may be a lie. Back then, I didn't write fanfics outside of Hero Academia. No, actually, no, I didn't write fanfics, yeah, at all. Hero Academia fanfics went on later. So this one was, I think it was like a magical girl character. There was a Cartoon Network cartoon called Craig of the Creek. Like, Craig of the Creek is a cartoon that's just like, you wish you had this kind of childhood thing, because like the story is about like 3 friends who have this creek where there are a lot of kids, and each kid like have like, you know, they do role play basically. So they have like their own hideouts within trees, within caves, you know, like they have mysteries, they have all this kind of different stuff. They even have like a kid running a shop, but they do not pay with money. They just like trade snacks. So when someone like brought up like, let's say, candy bar, but they want chips, they're trading. It's just like, you know, you wish you had this kind of childhood. That's why I really liked watching this cartoon, because like it gave me warm feelings. Like, I wish I had this kind of childhood. This one was a random cartoon. I don't know, it was like a random cartoon that I think when I was I was on a trip somewhere on a vacation or whatever, and it's just like, you know, when it's evening, you just turn on the TV in the hotel room and you don't freaking know what's going on, but anyways, you still kind of watch it, and there was like a cartoon with this kind of like character, and I just redrew it. Here I think there was like ambitious plan, as always, millions of my ambitious plans to draw Pokemon that are merged. So this one, it's Jigglypuff with Kabutops? No, not Kabutops. You know which one, probably. You know, there is like this kind of like Pokemon merge generator or something like that. I did that and redrew this. And this one, I think the cartoon was called Cubone? No, not Cubone. Not Cubone. No. The one who is like, fuck. It's from, wait, I need to Pokédex. Just like that. Fuck. Possible one. Yeah, okay, find it. I will find it, because now I'm pissed off that I do not remember that. No, not this one. Not this one. Kabutops. I said it right the first time. It's just like when I thought about Kabuto, I thought about like the first form. Is it goofy you can't? Hi Stu, hello. Back from work or whatever. And this one, I think the cartoon was called Mau Mau. Not Bao Bao, Mau Mau. Mau Mau cartoon. Yeah, Mau Mau. And it was very cute. Like, the designs of the characters were very cute. I think it was quickly cancelled though. But the main character, this was the kitty cat. The kitty cat here was the main character. And he was kind of like, you know, edgelord.
It's like you can imagine him being like in a human form and girls would go crazy. Kabuto, you see one from that? I know, this is so stupid because Kabuto means something. Isn't Kabuto like a beetle or something? Kabuto. Let me check. It's a helmet. No, not the helmet. It's a helmet? I thought it's a bag. Why did I think it's a bag all the time? Whatever. Never mind that. It's just I'm getting distracted at this point. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. Oh! My first prizes for commissions! I wrote down there, look, you could have full body for $20! Imagine that! Imagine right now me selling full body for $20. This one was actually a logo for... The guy commissioned me a logo for his Funko Pop shop. $20! Imagine that! Insane. Can I? No. The prices are not... they're not there anymore. It's been years ago. And this is just a random frog girl with a frog. I think it was a request, actually. Oh. Look. There's another drawing of my ex friend OC. And because she shipped her OC with Alastor, he's jealous here, even though it's non-canon. Oh, look, and this is Eliza's and the goat girl. I think her name was Elfie or something like that. What a steal, I know, right? I was pricing. Shut the fuck up. I'm pricing now. Here, let's ignore those notes because I'm pretty sure, because we had like a friend group back then, and I was like writing down who has. Literally, part of our friend group was kind of like, doing scenarios with our self-insert OCs. No, are just like OCs ourselves. Which is kind of a stupid thing, but it's funny. Buy my product. Those were, I think, Villano's OCs, and those were like brothers. This is my OC. This was my friend's OC. Here, okay, this one is sketched out kind of like a pose that I had. There was like another character in here. Fun fact: when I was drawing it digitally, my laptop crashed. Thankfully, I have managed to get the files back because I was about to cry. I was about to cry when that happened. I remember that I was drawing and just like my whole PC crashed. Not everything was saved, so I had to redo certain things. This one was someone's OC. I don't remember. I think it might have been has-been, but I'm not sure. And here, I think there was some contest that I was running. Oh, look, there's Aloysius, and this OC was like another OC of the same girl who had the goat OC. And this one, I think he was obsessed with drinking potion, like toxins. So he was obsessed with toxin, and he was obsessed with fire. So they were friends because they like dangerous things. And here's the sheep OC, but with Wooloo, because I thought it would be cute to give her Wooloo to hug, and I still think it's kind of cute. Look at the Wooloo, it's so cute. Later on, I had like the drug consumer. I was heavily inspired by Has-Been Hotel. Yeah, I did a lot. Like I did a lot of Has-Been Hotel OC content. Right now, I think to a certain extent, probably some elements stayed within my art style, but because I draw anime more, I don't draw like Has-Been that much. Use sheepskin? No. More! Okay, I think this is the last doodle of the cursed sheep. I mean, sheep that I have bad memories of. Like, I mean, it was good times, but, you know, the person who was the owner was, yeah, whatever. This one's someone's OC. I don't even remember. This is Alastor and Angel Dust. Yeah, Angel Dust. Yeah. And that little shit, I think it was someone's OC as well. Disgusting one, but Someone requested that. I think those were requests. Yeah. I think until the end of... Oh, we are on the last page! My bros! Goobers! We're on the last page! So those were requests. So this one is OC. We had like 3 other siblings. And this was like his younger sister. Wow, and there is someone's angel OC, there is someone else's OC, also from husband. This is just a cat in, you know, poncho and the hat, sombrero. That was definitely someone's request. Got your nose. Nice nose there. Wait, what? The cat looks good, thank you. And then there was a request for dementia biting my OC Toxie. So that and that's it. That's how with the last. I remember when I said, okay, my sketchbook has like last 2 pages. Give me your requests. Last 2 pages. Give me your requests. I'm going to doodle them out to finish off my sketchbook. And yeah, that was it. Oh, that was going down the memory lane a lot. And this is one of 3 parts that I have, but I have something extra because I've been for a week. I have been cleaning up from top to bottom. I have been cleaning up my apartment, you know, very throughoutly, and I forgot about the existence of this sketchbook, which is okay. That's this side. There's like 5 or 6 drawings. I checked them out because I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I was like, oh right, that existed. So there was a time where I like every person who drew a little bit of traditional art, there was a time where when I really wanted to have, you know, Copic markers or pro markers. But as you know, those things are pricey as fuck. So I never ended up getting those. But, you know, it was time where there were a lot of Chinese ones that were much cheaper and, in conclusion, much shittier. But, you know, I was like, yo, no, it can't be that bad, right? It can't be that bad. You get 100 for like $20. It has to be a steal, you know? It can't be good enough. It was not, and here you'll see why. So this was like my first try. It looks so awful. This was my first look at the look at how terrible it was. Like, dude, I sound British. I'm not British. Shoot, at all. Zero British blood in me, other than me loving tea just as much as Brits do. So this was a random character, basically. And look, there's a date. There's a date, 2017, end of 2017. Oh my god. Dude, the progress is insane in art. So this was a random character. Most of them will be random characters. I think this one is actually... We may see this character again. And I will talk about them later on. Because I'm not sure. I may be mistaken. Look, these markers were so bad that they, like, when you pressed too much, they went outside the line art. I remember when I cried, like, no! Don't go outside the line art! It was too late. It's Irish. This one maybe. Me? No, not so much. I've been to Ireland once. And look, here Rockruff. And this one looks pretty decent because I literally redrew him. And Rockruff is my favorite Pokemon, but because I had limited number of markers, I drew him, like I colored him in the shiny form. Here is a random OC. A random character. Never drew her again. It was basically me just drawing something very quickly. Hands behind, because I don't, you know, nah, I ain't drawing hands. Yeah. Oh, another mascot, look. Maybe I can sell this one now, it looks shitty. Like, I can draw much better mascots right now. And so, I drew it all in 1 month. What the fuck? And this one is some emo boy. 2018. So a little bit later. I think I had a little bit of a break. It doesn't look that bad. Let's remove their hair. No. Never. This one is just some random guy looking ugly. Damn, it's you. I guess. This one, I think it was supposed to be some design of JoJo stand. Because, yeah, the next one was like me trying JoJo style. Definitely your type, just give him a cigarette. Shut the fuck up, it's not my type. My type are not boys, my type are men. And this one was supposed to be hero design for my OC Tabako, who started off in Hero Academia. Yeah, and that's it. And the rest is empty. So, hey, if I were to, I don't know, sketch something else, we have a lot of space. Like, maybe that in the future. I'm not saying, and maybe for like 500 subscribers on YouTube, I'm going to like do a Google, not Google Doc, don't worry about that. I will make a Google form where you can, you know, where you will be able to write down your requests for me to draw my OC real. That will happen. That was 2017. This was, I don't know which year that was. This was 2019. Slime making slime noises. Girls always have a molder where. Where? Okay, and that was it. How did you like this experience of going back in time with me and learning more about my OCs that right now I don't care about that much? I mean, you know, the memories are still there. I learned a lot when it comes to drawing and when it comes to writing stories. Like back then, my stories were still shitty. So for me to see how much I grew as a creator, it's just join right at the end of the stream. Ah, it's okay, Shu. It's part 1 out of 3 because I have 2 more sketchbooks to go through. The meme? Oh, yeah. The hand! Here! Like cats and Pokemons the most. Okay. I don't think there will be... Maybe there will be some Pokemon doodles, but not too much. Maybe 2 or 3. When it comes to cats, probably not so much. I don't know. I don't remember what I have in those sketchbooks, and that's the part of the fun. I'm just like experiencing it, like what the hell happened. The fact that I remember so much when I was drawing that, why I was drawing that, it's my memory is weird, you know? I mean, it's good that I have a good memory, but sometimes I'm like, why the fuck am I even remembering those things? So yeah. Overall, yeah, I in a way it was fun. In a way it was not fun to relive some memories, but I think, you know, I keep on telling myself that if I did not do all of those things, if I did not meet all of those people, I may have never ended the way I am now, like where I am now. You never know, like things could have been worse and be short-term memory loss. Oh no. So like I want to keep on believing that what I did, like even the bad times, they were necessary for me to end up where I am right now. And I keep on saying that because if I won't keep on saying that, I will go insane. My favorite art from these sketchbooks, let me find one that's like my favorite. I think, damn, this is a hard question. Because I don't know if at that point I was like No, I definitely find one. Give me a moment. I have to go through them again. Like, speedrun! Speedrun! I'd say... Has to be something... I don't know if it's this Brinley, but let me see it further on. So... Yeah, I would say it is Brinley. So my OC. Maybe because I really liked how everything looked in here. Like the design, yeah, later on I think like she looked much better. You will see her in next part, which if you wonder where the next part of this looking through my sketchbooks will be, I will do that after we finish the next game that we're going to play, which is Until Then, which we will be starting on Monday. Small hat, yeah, small hat. If I remember correctly, under this hat there was like a hamster. So it's clean and nice, right? Right? I feel like it was like the first time when I started like figuring out how I want my character to look like, more or less. So that's definitely one that I really like. And I feel like it was like the first one that I drew with this red colored pencil. So yeah, that was my favorite one. Okay, like that was part 1. I think that will be it for today, because I still need to eat dinner, I need to draw commissions, you know, your usual stuff. Thank you, Ratatouille, yeah, Ratatouille. And, well, I love to see how far I went from, like, especially, I think I'm the most proud of how, like, I grew as a character designer and just story writer. This is something that is like so noticeable, like the difference. And hey, maybe soon enough I'll be drawing art for not safe for work games, hentai games. Oh, this is how far I can go. The amount of art you lost because you threw the notebook away. I threw a lot of art from like primary school and even kindergarten. I think the only kindergarten art that I had has remained is at my aunt's. She has a box like full of things that me and my sister did as kids. So this is probably the only place, because I remember when I threw everything away, I had a lot of art like from clay, from everything, literally drawn, sketched out, but then I threw it all away. I'm pretty sure I could find some at my family house, but it's so cluttered in the not in the attic, in the basement, that it will be hard to find. So, my fellow Goobers, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this showcase and the stream, and what can I hope for you is to just have a nice weekend, you know, because the next stream will be on Monday, and I think after that it will be Wednesday, and then on Sunday 10 a.m. You know, the Central European time, we will have watch along. Like, I can invite you to a Crunchyroll Anime Awards watch along. It will be like, I think I will start an hour earlier just in case something happens or my time zones were messed up. But I literally set it up on my calendar from the official website, so it has to be correct, right? Magma drawing website. Yeah, I know Magma. So thank you, but for today, thank you so much. Have a nice evening, have a nice weekend. We will see each other, if you want, of course, on Monday 4 p.m. It's all set up, the stream's already set up, and until then, bye bye.